The Cincinnati Bengals are headed to what the Cincinnati fans, Kentucky fans, are calling Burrowhead. Kansas City Chiefs are now 1-point favorites. This game has flip-flopped so much over just the last over the last day, let alone ever since this matchup got locked in. But in Arrowhead, the total set at 47.5 here. Give me Kansas City. I filled this out at, I want to say 11:30. I had Kansas City at +1.5. Give me Kansas City -1. Give me their money line. Give me the over 47.5. Are the Bengals really going to beat the Chiefs for the fourth straight time? I just can't see it happening. Just like I never saw them beating them the first 3 times. So what the hell do I know? Joe Shiesty, 3-0 against the spread against Pat Mahomes, covering the spread on average by 7 points. Now, just in case, and I don't want to confuse you guys, but just in case that this flips back to the Bengals being the favorites, road favorites have gone 3-8-2 against the spread over the last 10 postseasons. Pat Mahomes, on the other hand, when an underdog, 6-3 straight up, 7-1-1 against the spread. He lost his first game as an underdog, as an underdog this past year. But now, this is the information you want. Chiefs, when they're 3 or more point favorites, they're 30-37-1 against the spread. When it's 3 or fewer points, they're 10-5 against the spread. Give me the Chiefs at Burrowhead -1. Give me their money line. Give me the over 47.5. I think that this can be a mini shootout. I hope that it is a large shootout, kind of somewhere in between the 30s and that one Rams Chiefs Monday night game. Give me somewhere in between there.
I'm doing Cincinnati +1 in money line, and I just changed my bet, and I don't know why. Because it feels like the Bengals can't go 4-0 against Mahomes. It feels like that's not right. And my gut says Cincinnati wins this, but my brain says bet Mahomes. But I'm going to go with my gut at Cincinnati +1 in money line. But before I hand it over to Wally, we talked on Monday about Eli Apple. I went and I did some research, and I fucking hate Eli Apple even more now after doing that research. Eli Apple is a fucking chump. And over his time with Cincinnati, he's averaged like a 55 PFF coverage grade and allowed a 101.5 passer rating into his coverage, like the entire duration, all averaged 101.5. He has 2 interceptions, but has been beaten for 11 touchdowns. And while in comparison, Sauce Gardner, who we relate to Darrelle Revis, like top tier corner, best corner, 88.5 PFF grade at corner. Eli Apple he ranks 68th at the position, and 64 players start at it. So he's not even in a ranking of starting cornerbacks. Like I hate, like the more I saw him talk on Twitter, the more I was interested in looking into his stats. He's terrible. He's not good. And he has some bright spots, some games where he's average. And then we do what we did on Monday, and I give him credit for credit he doesn't deserve. And then he goes on Twitter and he makes himself look like an idiot. And I hate him even more. And now I'm going to expose him as one of the worst cornerbacks in the NFL.
He has the reverse LeBron, where his good plays stick out way more because he's so bad all the time. We're like, oh yeah, we're expecting him to be like that. But when he plays, you're like, oh shit. So like LeBron, that's why I call it reverse LeBron, because he'll average 38-8 when he's 60, and they're like, yeah, well, we expect him to do that. But when he has a bad game, everyone's on him. But Eli Apple, it's like, yeah, oh, you didn't get burned for a touchdown? Let's throw this guy a parade.
Okay, I'm just...
No, wait. Here's some more statistics before Wally speaks, because he's a closet Bengals fan, and he's going to defend Eli Apple here. In primary coverage, for 63 open targets, that's the 6th most in the entire NFL. And with obviously Cincinnati's playoff runs, he gets more playing experience. But if you look at his open target rate, his wide receivers he's covering are open 40.6% of the time, ranks in the bottom of the NFL. He's one of the worst corners in the NFL.
I was not coming in to do this knight in shining armor for Eli Apple. But all I'm saying is, doesn't it feel like sometimes on like a team like this, it's almost good to have someone like that gets under people's skin so much? Because you can't tell me Stephon Diggs was Stephon Diggs last week. And a large part of that is because Eli Apple runs his mouth a whole hell of a lot and he gets under people's skin. If you don't allow him to, those stats are great. But what happens when there is pressure on the quarterback, you're not getting the targets that you're used to getting in the regular season, all of a sudden having a guy like Eli, I mean, there's a reason why the Bengals keep going to him and haven't been giving up a lot of points in these postseason games for 2 straight seasons. It's just something to consider on that is for Eli Apple.
I don't think he is a large part of what Stephon's stat line was last week. Yeah, he was defending him. Josh Allen made some horrible throws. I thought there could be throws.
Do you think anyone's throwing 10 fucking targets towards Sauce Gardner's direction or any top tier corner? He had 10.
You're right. And how did it go?
Targets.
He had 4
That's
catches.
Josh Allen. That's not Eli Apple.
He had 4.
That's fine. It's just we got to pick what side of this I'm right on, because it's either Josh Allen's side or the Eli Apple side. I like to believe Wally's right on both things. So that's where I'm going to run with that.
Eli Apple sucks. That's my take.
And he's not great. I'm not arguing that. That's my point. What I will say going into this, everybody's talking about the 3-0. They've all been very tight games. They've all come down to the last possession. It's not like the Bengals have worked the Chiefs in any of these.
But the Chiefs they've had leads in every single one of them. I want to say 19, 14, and 7 the last 3.
Yeah, and they've had leads in the second half in these games. It's not like they're like trailing. The Bengals have actually been the team playing from behind. But that's also part of the thing where if we're talking about Patrick Mahomes is like the best, most skilled quarterback in the NFL, which that's fine if we want to go that route. It reminds me a lot of those 2005, 2006 era Colts Patriot games. Tom Brady and Joe Burrow have those similarities where Joe Burrow almost decides he's not going to lose. And the Bengals offense plays at another level we haven't seen. I mean, during their 10-game winning streak they're on, they're averaging over 28 points a game, and they're holding opponents under 20 a game. And here's the other fun fact that you want to look at with these teams when they play. They haven't really blitzed Mahomes in the last 2 years, but they've been getting a lot of pressure with just their front 4. If they can do that again, they'll win this game, because we talked last week about the Jaguars having the 3rd worst quarterback rating to tight ends. The Bengals are 3rd best. So if you take Travis Kelce away, that leads everything into Patrick Mahomes on 1.5 legs, and Isaiah Pacheco are going to have monster games to win. And I just don't believe it's going to happen. So I apologize, Bengals fans. I've got the Bengals +1. I have the money line. And honestly, it's like what Forrest Gump said, that I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. That is where I love this team right now. And I don't care if my brain is telling me Chiefs are going to win. My heart's telling me this time is the time to jump on this team, because I think they're going back to the Super Bowl.